Hello, listeners, and welcome back to Everyday Health Stories, the podcast where we explore the fascinating world of medical science through the power of storytelling. Each week, we bring you real-life experiences, compelling science, and simple strategies that can help you take control of your health, one step at a time. If this is your first time joining us, hit pause for a moment and click on follow or subscribe, depending on where you're listening. That way, you'll get notified of new episodes, gain access to exclusive content, and join a community that's making positive changes, one story at a time. Now, if you caught our last episode, you'll remember we talked about the brain protective power of heat, how regular sauna use can actually reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. That episode really struck a chord with our listeners.
Yes, and it should. The evidence behind heat exposure and cognitive protection is incredibly compelling. But what many people don't realize is that those benefits don't stop at the brain.
Exactly. So today, we're turning up the heat, literally, and looking at how sauna therapy supports the rest of your body. From heart health to metabolism, your immune system to your muscles, it's all connected.
And the beauty of it is, the same physiological stress that helps your brain adapt and thrive also triggers healing in your heart, your circulation, even your cellular machinery.
So whether you're someone looking to recover faster, feel stronger, or age better, today's episode is for you. Let's start with something eye-opening. In a long-term Finnish study of over 2,000 men, researchers found that those who used the sauna 4 to 7 times a week had a 50% lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. And even better, they were less likely to die from any cause.
Right. That's not a small difference. That's a massive shift in health outcomes just from sitting in a hot room a few times a week. And this isn't fringe science. These are well-conducted, peer-reviewed studies that keep reinforcing the same conclusion. Heat exposure, done deliberately and consistently, improves how the body works.
We're talking about something that feels simple, almost too simple. You sit, you sweat, you relax. But what's happening inside your body during that time is surprisingly powerful.
Exactly. Your core temperature rises, your heart rate climbs, your blood vessels expand. This triggers a response from almost every system in your body. It's what we call a hormetic stressor. That's a good kind of stress, one that doesn't damage, but strengthens.
And that's the magic of it. Just like lifting weights challenges your muscles or fasting challenges your metabolism, sauna challenges your entire physiology, and your body adapts in amazing ways.
It's like a full-body workout for your cells, and the benefits don't just stay internal. People feel better. They sleep better, they think clearer, they recover faster.
That's why today's episode matters. Because in a world filled with high-tech solutions and expensive treatments, this might be one of the simplest, most accessible healing tools available. All right, Dr. Reddy, let's introduce someone whose life has been quietly transformed by heat. Ben Fogle is a British adventurer, author, and television presenter. He's climbed Everest, rode across the Atlantic, and trekked to the South Pole. But despite all those extreme accomplishments, do you know what he credits as one of the most powerful tools for his recovery and well-being? His sauna.
That's right. Ben has spoken publicly about how sauna sessions helped him not only physically recover from his demanding expeditions, but also mentally reset. He described the sauna as his church, his temple, tucked away in the woods near his home in Wales.
For Ben, the sauna isn't just about sweating. It's where he goes to reconnect with his body, to quiet the noise, and to rebuild himself from the inside out. And he's not using fancy treatments or celebrity hacks. It's just heat, consistency, and time.
And what's really fascinating is that what Ben experienced subjectively, improved mood, mental clarity, physical recovery, aligns exactly with what modern science is now proving in studies.
Right. His story could easily be dismissed as anecdotal, but it's actually a real-world reflection of what's happening at the cellular level. The same physiological shifts we see in lab data, clinical trials, and cohort studies. Ben was feeling them in his bones.
And if an elite adventurer finds healing in heat, imagine what it could do for you, whether you're recovering from a workout, managing chronic fatigue, or just trying to sleep better.
So, Dr. Reddy, let's zoom in a little. We've talked about how people feel better after using the sauna, but what's actually going on under the surface? What happens in the body when we step into that heat?
Great question. The moment your body senses that increase in temperature, it kicks into adaptation mode. First, your heart rate increases, often to around 120 to 150 beats per minute, which is similar to what happens during moderate intensity cardio.
So even though you're just sitting, your body is responding like you're exercising.
Yes, blood vessels dilate, improving circulation. Your core temperature rises, and that triggers a cascade of internal changes. Most importantly, it activates something called heat shock proteins.
Ah, those are fascinating. I read that heat shock proteins help protect and repair damaged cells.
They're like microscopic repair crews. When your body heats up, these proteins stabilize and refold damaged proteins, protect your DNA, and reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, which are major contributors to aging and chronic disease.
And they also play a role in brain health too, right? That's what we discussed last time.
Yes, and beyond the brain, they protect your cardiovascular system, improve immune response, and even support metabolic function. It's incredible how one stimulus, heat, can create such widespread effects.
And there's a hormonal response too, isn't there?
Yes, heat exposure triggers the release of norepinephrine, which sharpens focus, growth hormone, which supports tissue repair, prolactin, which helps regenerate nerve coverings, and beta endorphins, the same feel-good chemicals released during exercise or after a good laugh.
So it really is like a workout, meditation, and cellular tune-up, all rolled into one. And it's accessible to almost anyone.
That's the beauty of it. It's not complicated or high-tech. You're not relying on medications or invasive procedures. It's just you, your body, and heat, working together in harmony. When done correctly, sauna therapy is incredibly safe, and the healing goes far beyond the surface.
All right, we've laid the foundation. Now let's zoom out and look at the big picture. How does sauna therapy benefit the body as a whole? Let's go system by system, starting with the heart.
Sure, sauna is incredibly good for your cardiovascular system. Just like aerobic exercise, it elevates your heart rate, improves vascular compliance, and lowers blood pressure over time.
And we have that powerful Finnish study, right? Over 2,000 men followed for 20 years. Those who used the sauna 4 to 7 times a week had a nearly 50% lower risk of fatal heart disease.
Right. That's better than some medications. And it's not just about blood pressure, it improves endothelial function, which helps your blood vessels stay elastic and responsive. It's like a cardio session without the treadmill.
What about immunity? I've seen people claim that sauna helps them get sick less often. Is that real?
There's good reason to believe it. Sauna boosts the production of white blood cells, including neutrophils, lymphocytes, and basophils. These are your body's first responders.
So it's like giving your immune army a pep talk?
Exactly. And that immune rehearsal helps your body fight off infections more effectively. People who use saunas regularly do report fewer colds and faster recovery.
This one surprised me. Sauna therapy helps with muscle recovery?
Yes, heat exposure increases growth hormone levels, sometimes by up to 5-fold. That supports muscle repair and fat metabolism. It also increases blood flow to tissues, helping clear out metabolic waste after exercise.
So whether you're a professional athlete or someone who's just sore from gardening, it can help reduce pain and speed up recovery?
Absolutely. And the benefits build over time. Regular sauna use helps your body get better at regulating its temperature, so you don't overheat as easily. It also increases your plasma volume, which is basically the liquid part of your blood. That means your heart can pump more efficiently, your blood can flow more easily, and your body can cool itself faster. All of that adds up to better stamina and endurance, especially if you're active or trying to rebuild your energy after illness or fatigue.
That's amazing. What about metabolic health? How does sauna help with blood sugar or insulin resistance?
Several small studies show that regular heat exposure improves insulin sensitivity and lowers blood glucose levels. It can be especially helpful for people with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes.
And I remember reading about something called wei-on therapy from Japan. That's a type of infrared sauna therapy, right? It was used with heart failure patients.
Yes, that's right. Wei-on therapy is a very specific protocol developed in Japan that uses far-infrared dry saunas set at around 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius. So it's much gentler than traditional saunas. The word wei-on actually means soothing warmth, and that's the whole idea behind it. Consistent, comfortable heat that doesn't stress the body too aggressively.
That's really interesting. So what happens during a session?
Patients typically sit in the infrared sauna for about 15 minutes, followed by 30 minutes of rest under a warm blanket to maintain the increased body temperature. It's done regularly, sometimes even daily, in clinical settings. What's amazing is that this therapy has been shown to improve cardiac function, enhance exercise tolerance, and reduce symptoms like shortness of breath and fatigue in people with chronic heart failure.
That's incredible, especially for people who can't tolerate traditional cardio or more strenuous rehab programs.
Exactly. For those individuals, Wei-Yan therapy offers a way to gently stimulate circulation, improve vascular function, and even reduce markers of oxidative stress and inflammation, all without overloading the heart.
So it's not just about feeling good in the moment. It's a therapeutic intervention backed by data.
Absolutely. It's a great example of how something as simple as controlled heat can become a legitimate part of medical care.
Okay, last but not least, longevity. Can heat therapy really help us live longer?
The signs point to yes. Heat activates heat shock proteins, which protect your cells from damage, reduce inflammation, and improve mitochondrial function. These are key hallmarks of aging.
So regular sauna use could potentially reduce our risk of chronic disease, boost resilience, and even slow aging?
Yes, it's not a magic pill, but it's one of the most evidence-based, low-barrier, and time-tested ways to enhance health span.
That's incredible. And it's sitting right there in so many gyms, spas, and backyards, often overlooked. All right, so the benefits are crystal clear, but let's get practical. How do you actually do sauna therapy the right way?
Let's keep it simple. Here's the protocol I often recommend to patients. Step 1. Temperature. For traditional dry saunas, the sweet spot is between 170 to 194 degrees Fahrenheit or 77 to 90 degrees Celsius. It should feel very warm but not suffocating. Infrared saunas are cooler, around 120 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, but they penetrate deeper into the tissues.
So traditional saunas heat the air around you and infrared heats you from the inside out?
Correct. Step 2. Duration. If you're new to it, start with 10 to 15 minutes. Once your body adjusts, aim for 20 to 30 minutes per session. Some people break it into 2 rounds with a brief cool down in between.
So like a hot, cold, hot layering experience?
Yes, that contrast can be invigorating. Just be mindful of your limits. Step 3. Frequency. Even 2 sessions per week can bring health benefits, but ideally, try to sauna 3 to 7 times per week. The benefits really build with consistency.
So like exercise, it's not about one perfect session, it's about making it a habit?
Exactly, it's a long game. Step 4. Hydration and electrolytes. This is critical. You lose a lot of fluids and minerals through sweat. Always hydrate before and after and replenish electrolytes, especially sodium, potassium, and magnesium.
So think coconut water, mineral salts, or an electrolyte mix, not just plain water?
That's right. You want to restore what you've lost. Step 5. Cooling down. Give your body time to return to baseline. That could mean a cold shower, a walk in the fresh air, or just sitting quietly for a few minutes.
That cool down actually feels amazing, like your body is humming.
Yes, it does. And finally, step 6. Safety first. If you're pregnant, have very low blood pressure, heart arrhythmias, or other medical conditions, talk to your doctor before starting sauna therapy. And always listen to your body. If you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or unwell, step out and cool down.
So be smart, stay hydrated, and ease in gradually. That's the key. You know, Dr. Reddy, this really brings us full circle. In our last episode, we focused on how sauna therapy protects the brain, reducing the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's by promoting blood flow, reducing inflammation, and triggering those amazing heat shock proteins.
And what we've seen today is that the same internal response that benefits the brain also strengthens the heart, revives your muscles, supports immune function, balances hormones, and slows down cellular aging.
It's all connected, isn't it? The body isn't made up of isolated systems. When one part heals, others follow.
Exactly. Your body is a network, an ecosystem, and when you stimulate it in the right way, like with heat therapy, it responds on multiple levels. You're not just treating symptoms, you're supporting resilience.
So whether someone is trying to prevent chronic illness, recover from stress, or simply feel better in their own skin, this one habit, stepping into the heat, could make a lasting impact.
That's the beauty of it. It's simple, it's accessible, and when used consistently, it's powerful.
You know, it's kind of amazing. In a world that's constantly chasing high-tech solutions, supplements, and complex biohacks, here we are, returning to something that's been around for thousands of years: heat.
And it turns out that our ancestors were onto something. Whether it was a sweat lodge, a hot spring, or a wood-fired sauna, they understood that heat could heal, physically, mentally, even spiritually.
We've seen today that sauna therapy isn't just about relaxation. It's about resilience, about training the body to rise to a gentle challenge and come back stronger.
That's right. It's not just a place to sweat. It's a place where your cells reset, where inflammation goes down, hormones rebalance, the heart gets stronger, and healing begins quietly from the inside out.
And what's beautiful is that this isn't reserved for elite athletes or people with fancy wellness routines. This is for anyone with access to a basic sauna or even a hot bath to begin tapping into their body's natural repair system.
You know, we're always looking for the next big thing, some magic fix. But sometimes the answer's been right in front of us the whole time. Just a little heat. That's all it takes to get things moving in the right direction.
Yep, just give it a little nudge, turn up the heat, and let the healing happen. All right, Dr. Reddy, that was such an eye-opening discussion. Thank you for breaking down the science and showing us how something as simple as heat can have such powerful effects on our entire body. And to our listeners, if this episode made you think differently about health or gave you a new tool to try, we hope you'll subscribe, share it with a friend, and maybe even invite someone to join you in a sauna session. You never know, this might be the first step toward better heart health, stronger immunity, or just feeling better day to day.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. As always, please remember, this podcast is for informational purposes only. Sauna therapy, while beneficial for many, may not be right for everyone. Always check with your healthcare provider for any medical concerns or before starting any new health routine, especially if you have pre-existing medical conditions.
Absolutely. Until next time, stay curious, stay proactive, and keep tuning into Everyday Health Stories. Remember, every story has the power to transform lives. Bye for now.